Come now into the Earthborn Rainforest. Leave all your cares behind. Let us sit and share together the secrets of OJAYA, the martial art of deep meditation. Ancient secrets to happiness and success. The power of inner peace. The way of the lotus-hearted hero. Enter now this space of peace and listen heart to heart as you advance another step in the OJAYA martial art. Let us begin with a moment of repose. And now, the teachings.
OJAYA Prep Talk 4. The Lost Teachings of Deep Meditation, Reawakened from the Ruins of Time. With Sukaishi David.
Welcome back to OJAYA in the Earthborn Rainforest. Today, you'll find hundreds of meditations taught everywhere. Millions of people sit for meditation each and every day. But what if the ancient techniques of meditation are like ancient temples, largely lost in time and now in ruins? What if, sadly, millions of people today struggle with meditation practices that were lost long ago, unaware that true meditation is absolutely easy and immediately powerful? And just what if methods taught today are not deep meditation at all? There are so many meditation methods. How do you know which one to choose? Let's start right now and see what other schools are teaching. A common method taught everywhere today is just close your eyes and watch the breath. Sounds simple enough. But when you start to get bored with this meditation, just watching your breath, you're told to keep trying again and again and again. Then you realize it's not so easy. It can actually become quite an effort. That's because there's a big difference between watching your breath and meditating on your breath. Now, some people tell you to count the breath. Every time you breathe in and out, you count. 1, 2, 3. When you get to 10, you start all over. 1, 2. Needless to say, most people drop this kind of meditation pretty fast. Now I ask you, what good does this do? Counting your breathing? By our definition, this is no meditation at all. People today want to learn meditation in 5 minutes. They want a quick fix. And there are many teachers out there to fill this request. But learning meditation shouldn't be like going to a fast food restaurant. Did you ever see that movie, that documentary, Super Size Me, where this guy decides to eat every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, only at McDonald's? For 1 solid month, he promises he'll only eat at McDonald's. Now, he was really healthy to start with, but after a month, he had gained a lot of unhealthy weight, and his checkup was horrendous when he went to the doctor. The doctor said his numbers were way off, even in the danger zone, and he felt sick. Fast food may be fast, but we all know that fast food is often junk food. It's similar when you're learning meditation. There are so many methods you can learn really fast in 5 minutes. It may be a popular method. It may be in all the books and magazines. But from our perspective, we would put most all of these in the fast food category of junk meditation. These are largely just quick fixes for people today who are impatient and running all over the place. All this rushing around in life has stressed them out. And they just want to quickly learn a meditation and quickly get rid of their stress. But here's the thing. If you learn meditation in 15 minutes, then how many minutes of your valuable time will you spend each month meditating in a mediocre or even misguided way? If you want to meditate, a better approach is first take a little bit of time to learn the authentic techniques properly, and then you'll spend your time wisely and get the true benefits of deep meditation. This is the OJAYA way. Now, there's a popular saying that many people like to quote. You may have heard it. There are many ways up the mountain. A lot of people believe that all meditation techniques are valid and any one will eventually work for you. Each method is a different approach, a different way up the mountain. So just pick any method from anywhere and do it. And eventually you'll get the results. But it doesn't really work that way. Yes, we would agree there are many ways up the mountain, but these ways are not equal. Many ways are difficult. They're fraught with all kinds of problems. You might have to climb huge rocks and go up dangerous cliffs. Or you have to machete your way through thick underbrush with thorns everywhere. Other ways of meditation take you around to the dry side of the mountain, through hot deserts with no joy, no bliss, and no life. Many methods just go around and around the mountain with not a lot to show for your time. Some meditations do give you some benefits, and that encourages you to keep chugging along, but then they don't take you very far. And here's the huge point that many people seem to miss. All ways do not lead up the mountain. Many ways lead you down into the dark valley below where you get lost and you don't know what you're doing and where to go. You'll wander there in confusion. We see this so often with people who have meditated for a while. They get confused. They don't know what they're supposed to do in their meditation. It becomes a mishmash. We want an easy path up the mountain, a tried and true path. We want to take the scenic route, a safe passage. OJAYA is the easy, scenic route up the mountain, the way of beauty and blissfulness of heart. The proof will be your own experience. Now, we said many times that OJAYA is absolutely easy. This isn't some sort of slogan. We're not bragging that other meditations are hard and ours is easy. We're not saying that. We're saying something much stronger than that. We're saying that any practice that's difficult or any practice that strains you in any way is not meditation at all. Any true meditation is relaxing and absolutely easy. Meditation must be very natural and soothing to your nervous system, or it's no meditation at all. So always remember, if it isn't easy, it isn't meditation. For so many years, I'll always ask people, have you ever done meditation? Their most common thing that they say is, yeah, I was meditating a while back. I guess I've been kind of sloughing off lately. I really need to get back to it. I just couldn't seem to get my mind to calm down. I have so many thoughts, and it's hard for me to meditate. I don't know. I just got away from it, but I really should get back to it. This is such a common thing we hear from people everywhere. Now, when people say this, it really means one thing. They never learn proper meditation practice. If that meditation had been blissful and relaxing and energizing, they never would have dropped it. The reason they dropped it was because there was some pressure and strain building up. It wasn't blissful and relaxing. This is the reason people drop their meditation, when it's not blissful and easy. So then, what is deep meditation? And how can you know which school is correct? How can you be sure that the OJAYA techniques are authentic and the teachings of another school may not be authentic? How can you know? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Because this course is really two courses in one. We're going to learn both. We're going to learn the authentic OJAYA methods of deep meditation, and also you'll learn what other schools are doing. And when you have two approaches right in front of you, then you yourself will see which is the artful technique of meditation and which is the misunderstood technique. See, there are certain principles of meditation that are universal. So if these principles become misunderstood, then the technique gets lost. When you learn OJAYA, I can already hear you saying, these teachings are too simple and easy, so how could anyone ever have misunderstood the techniques of deep meditation? And here's the answer to that question. Now listen carefully and remember what I'm about to say to you right now. Because I'm going to also say the same answer to you in the future when you ask me this question. Here's what I want you to remember. Deep meditation is absolutely easy, but because it is so easy, it's also absolutely easy to misconstrue the techniques. And without proper training, without a clear, skillful insight, the techniques become misconstrued. They become lost. So then, what is OJAYA? How does it differ from other meditations today? Well, in a nutshell, OJAYA is deep meditation. But as we said earlier, Meditation means many things to many different people. So to make it absolutely clear, how about if we take a slightly different approach? Let's first say what OJAYA is not, okay? OJAYA is not concentration. Concentration holds your mind static in one place. Concentration is not meditation. Meditation is a flow of consciousness. The ancient teachers say it's like oil flowing from one cup to another cup in a steady stream. Concentration is not a flow. Concentration tries to keep your mind on a single point. It makes your mind static. Now you may wonder, how did people start to think that meditation is concentration? Well, this idea had been a misunderstanding for centuries, but it got worse. When Westerners first started to visit India and the Far East, they were just astonished when they discovered this vast treasure trove of ancient writings that talked all about meditation. And when these people first translated these writings, then the teachings got even more muddled. They couldn't really translate certain Sanskrit words like dharana and dhyana. There were no words to match these in any other language. So they made mistakes. They translated some of these words as concentration. But meditation is not concentration, not in the sense that we might use the word today. Now, when you meditate, your concentration naturally improves, your ability to focus on your work or a problem you need to solve. But meditation itself is not concentration. It's actually the complete opposite. Meditation is deconcentration. We let the mind relax and deconcentrate. People have had this mistaken idea for centuries, and now it's quite ingrained in many schools. Imagine the headaches that people can get when they're taught that meditation involves concentration. Later we'll understand more about all this. The point right now is OJAYA is not concentration. Second point, OJAYA is not contemplation. What is contemplation? When people have a problem, they might say, I'm meditating on this problem. But what they really mean is they're contemplating a solution. Contemplation is when you think about a certain topic from various angles. You could contemplate the meaning of life, or how to plan your upcoming wedding. Think of it this way. The mind is like an ocean. On the surface are waves. These are your thought waves. Contemplation is like swimming around on the surface of that ocean, playing in those waves. You explore different ways of thinking, but it's all on the surface level of your mind. But meditation has nothing to do with all these thoughts about a particular subject. Meditation means diving into your ocean of consciousness and exploring the depth of your consciousness. This is deep meditation. So contemplation is very different than meditation. Okay, next point. Affirmations. OJAYA is not an affirmation. People sometimes think that meditation involves thinking phrases like, I am peaceful, I am joyful, I am successful. Something like this. These are called affirmations. Now, did you know there are times when affirmations can actually give you the opposite results, the contrary results? We'll explain this later, but for now, let's understand that deep meditation has nothing to do with any sort of affirmation. And this leads us to something similar. OJAYA is not hypnosis. There's one guru these days from India who's becoming known to people here in the West. He admits he never had any training in meditation, but he teaches a certain meditation technique. He tells you that when you breathe in, you should think to yourself, I am not the body. And when you breathe out, you think, I am not even the mind. OJAYA doesn't involve any kind of mental suggestions like this. We're not trying to implant certain ideas into your mind. Meditation is not some sort of hypnosis or brainwashing. And we would consider that kind of practice as no meditation at all. It's some other sort of game or something, but to us it's not meditation. Next point. OJAYA is not mind control. This is a big one. We're going to discover in our training that so very many techniques taught around the world today are really a subtle kind of mind control. People try to calm down their minds. They try to block out thoughts, and they try to concentrate on their breath. Basically, they're trying to control their mind. OJAYA has nothing to do with force or control. Force and control are unnatural to the mind. If your mind is behaving in a certain way, not the way you want, there's a reason for it. It's been stressed and tensed unnaturally in some way. When you remove the embedded stress in the nervous system, the mind functions properly. There's no need for any control at all. Any meditation that uses force or control, that's an artificial approach. And it'll give you stressful side effects. You'll get a headache and head pressure for sure. OJAYA does not involve effort or strain in any way. OJAYA is absolutely natural, organic meditation. This brings us to the next point, which is the granddaddy of them all. This is going to be a hard one for many people to swallow if they've been trained in some other meditation schools out there. This is why it's easier for us to teach beginners, people who have never done meditation before, because if someone has done other techniques, then many times we have to undo a lot of those habits. This can be a challenge if people have already become entrenched in a technique that's actually mistaken in its approach. So if you're a beginner, you've never done meditation, you're in the right place. And if you're an advanced meditator, you're also in the right place. We'll smooth out all the kinks for you and make things absolutely easy. So anyway, the granddaddy of them all. It's an extremely common idea, and it's also a huge misunderstanding. Are you ready for it? Okay. Developing depth of your consciousness has nothing to do with trying to be mindful of the present moment. Shocking to so many people when we say this. It's heresy. But meditation has nothing to do with all your efforts, all your attempts to be more and more present in the so-called present moment. There's one famous teacher who told Oprah that whenever she goes up the stairs, she should be aware of each and every stair as she walks up the stairs. We'll say this: depth of consciousness has nothing to do with being minutely aware of your staircase. Now, this idea of being in the present moment is so deeply ingrained in the culture these days. It's such a widely held belief. It's taught by countless teachers today, and it's taken as fact by many people and many schools. But people did not talk this way long ago in the ancient times. This is a newfangled, popular idea today that's based on misconstrued teachings from meditation masters in the distant past. The truth is, you're always in the present moment. Many teachers today are telling you that if you think about the past, you're in the past. It's not so. If you're thinking about the past, you're in the present moment. thinking about the past. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, we can certainly understand if you want to be more present with what's happening right in front of you, and you don't want to be sidetracked by worrying about the future or obsessing over the past. We can understand that. But there's a reason why your mind is dragged around like this. And that reason is not that your mind has been trained in the wrong way or has gotten into a wrong habit or anything like this, like so many teachers are saying. These teachers have not understood the classic teachings of deep meditation. When you understand the cause of not being present to what's in front of you, when you understand the cause of worrying about the future or obsessing over the past, then the solution is clear. And that solution has nothing to do with all your efforts to be more and more in the present moment, as they say. All this effort to be mindful of the present does absolutely nothing to clear up the cause. It's going to take some interesting sessions for us to unpack this one and set the record straight. We'll explain exactly how people got these ideas about being in the now and all that, how these ideas ever arose in the first place. And we're going to discover some points that may upset the old apple cart for a lot of people, but sometimes we need to shatter a roadblock that's preventing you from making progress. We're going to show you why all this work to be in the now is a sheer waste of your time. These efforts will never give you the depth of consciousness that classic deep meditation will give you. For now, let's just know that meditation is all about strengthening and deepening your consciousness. It has nothing to do with trying to force yourself or insert yourself into the so-called present moment. And later we're going to get into all this and explain it big time. Next point. OJAYA is not sitting there watching your thoughts. This is also what many people around the world do for meditation. They sit and watch whatever thoughts are going on in their mind, and they try to detach themselves from those thoughts. This practice will not energize you. It will actually exhaust you. And here in our school, this is not considered as any meditation at all. We'll explain this also on this course. Next point. OJAYA is not labeling your thoughts. There are many schools out there that tell you to label your thoughts. They say things like, when a thought comes up in meditation, just make a note. This is an angry thought. This is a sad thought. Over here is a worrisome thought. Some teachers say you should think softly to yourself, oh, thinking. Oh, wandering. Of course, your thoughts and your labels will be endless. We're going to explain why this is an unskillful practice and why it's a huge waste of your valuable time. And how did this idea ever come about in the first place? We'll find out. Deep meditation has nothing to do with pinning labels on your thoughts. Next point. Meditation is not watching your breath. This also sounds like a shocker for many people to hear, but as we said earlier, there's a difference between watching your breath and meditating on your breath. We'll explain this all in a future session. And meditation certainly doesn't involve counting your breath. We already talked about that one. Next point. Meditation is not jogging. You hear many people say things like, my meditation is jogging. That's what I do. It relaxes me and I feel great and I feel healthier. Now that's fantastic. Jogging is really good for your health. And sure, it'll give you so many benefits. If you're a jogger, please continue. But also understand that jogging is very different from meditation. Meditation is unique. Deep meditation will give you important benefits that are very different from jogging. Our next point is similar. Meditation is not the same as surfing. I had a home for a long time on the Garden Island of Kauai in Hawaii and had a lot of surfer friends there. They were out surfing all the time. One of the guys told me that surfing was his meditation. He said it's truly a spiritual experience for him. This is absolutely true. You can get tremendous rushes with something like surfing. It's a great experience. But this young guy later learned meditation, and then he understood the difference between surfing and deep meditation. He couldn't wait to tell me his latest experiences, how he would go off to some secret ocean cave and meditate and just become enraptured in his meditation. He got such deep results. The thing is, surfing is surfing. It can give you a peak experience, but meditation goes deep into your nervous system to dissolve stresses that have accumulated over a lifetime. Surfing the big ocean waves is one thing. It's a different thing to sit quietly and surf the waves of your consciousness. Next point. Meditation is not the same as painting. Many artists have said this. My meditation is when I paint. I lose myself in my work and I feel so creative. Every musician, of course, also feels the same way. These are great experiences. When you can compose or paint or do anything meditatively, then you feel in harmony. But painting is painting, and meditation is meditation. Both have their distinct values. And this brings us to our last point. Meditation is not taking a nap or lazing around in your bed. Yeah, I actually read this in some book somewhere, some time ago. They basically said that you could make up your own meditation. And if you just want to wake up on a Saturday morning and lie there in bed, then that's your meditation. The idea was meditation can be whatever you want it to be. Now, there's nothing wrong with lazing in bed sometimes. The author was taking comfort in this idea that you can make up your own meditation. You don't have to study meditation at all. Just make up your own. You can even just laze around in bed and voila, now you're doing meditation too. This person wants an easy way out. But the author didn't realize that meditation itself is the easy way out. Provided, of course, that it's true, authentic, artful meditation. In this course, we're going to learn why OJAYA is classic deep meditation, and you'll get benefits that lazing around in bed will not give you. When you get up in the morning and just sit for a few minutes of OJAYA, you get dynamic results and you start the day off right. There's an ancient saying, the one who does not meditate in course of time will admire and revere the one who meditates. Now there's one other kind of meditation that maybe we should also mention, guided meditations. Many schools have guided meditations, but we want you to be self-contained. OJAYA makes you strong and self-sufficient. You won't need anyone to chaperone your meditation. Once you learn it, you own it. You're free to sit anywhere, anytime, and meditate according to your own insight, on your own terms, whenever you wish. So we've mentioned some things that OJAYA is not. So then what actually is deep meditation? All right. We'll have to define it very quickly and simply. Deep meditation is relaxed awareness, settling gently inwards to deeper and deeper states of peace, serenity, and bliss. This is one definition of OJAYA. We can give more. But you know what? The only way you'll really ever know what OJAYA is to experience it for yourself, which is exactly what we'll do in the training sessions. The longer you practice OJAYA, the more your experiences will progress, because the results of OJAYA are cumulative. They add up over the weeks and months. The longer you do it, the more stress is dissolved, the clearer your consciousness, and the more blissful your experience.
Sukaishi, I've never done meditation before, but I've heard that meditation usually comes from India, like Buddha taught meditation in India. But the Far East is so far away from Canada, which is where I live. So meditation comes from a foreign country, and also from a time that's far, far away from my life in the 21st century. So I'm wondering if OJAYA can really work for someone like me, who lives in a totally different world from those ancient times.
Most all the classic meditation methods come from India and the Far East, but this doesn't mean that meditation is Indian or Far Eastern. Meditation is universal. It's for every human being. When Einstein discovered the principles of relativity, do you think that relativity is German? Does the space-time continuum behave differently in Germany than in the USA? Einstein was German, so surely his science must be German, right? In London, Sir Alexander Fleming stumbled upon his discovery of penicillin. Now, does that mean that penicillin is British? Does penicillin only work for people in the British Isles? Of course, the laws of nature are not of human authorship. They can only be discovered. It doesn't matter which country makes the discovery. That knowledge is equally valid to everybody. It's the same way with meditation. Just because India had its own geniuses, supremely wise meditation masters, this doesn't make meditation Indian. Meditation just happens to be the highest knowledge that was ever discovered in India. So we shouldn't think of meditation as foreign or an Eastern practice. The principles of meditation work equally for anyone who has a human consciousness. This means you. And the effectiveness of meditation depends entirely on taking the time to learn the simple methods and then to practice them correctly. But there's a huge confusion in the public about what meditation really is. So many different ideas, different schools, different techniques. Today, our popular culture thinks of meditation in so many different ways that actually have nothing at all to do with the classic ancient practice of deep meditation. In fact, we say here that at least 98% of all meditations taught today have lost their key techniques and effectiveness. These methods resemble ancient temples, weather-worn, aged, sitting in long-lost, ruined conditions. Today, most meditation schools only hint at their former grandeur and power. Here we can take a lesson from the Buddha. And yes, if you're a Christian, please listen up, because we can also take a valuable lesson here as well. Because the principles of meditation are not Buddhist or Christian. Meditation is universal. Now, a great religion has evolved around Buddha over the centuries. But really, he was simply teaching his people how to meditate. All his teachings revolved in some way around his practices of meditation. And here's the lesson for us today. According to the ancient writings, Buddha said that when he was gone from this earth, when he was no longer around to give proper guidance, his meditation would eventually become muddled and misunderstood. Buddha himself declared that his meditation would last only for 1,000 years. It's now been 2,500 years since Buddha taught meditation in India. And you know, we don't really need Buddha's prediction. We ourselves can see the ravages of time on his teachings. We can easily see how his meditation methods have been whispered down the lane for so long that the original story has branched out into so many different and even divergent ideas. Today, so many schools claim his meditation, and each school has its own different opinion about what Buddha did teach and what he did not teach. They debate amongst themselves very cordially, very politely. They debate who has the true original methods of meditation. But they often forget that perhaps none of their very best opinions actually carries the full impact of the original teachings. Time takes its toll, and this is a completely natural and predictable happening whenever a teaching goes mainstream and a qualified teacher no longer takes over to keep the purity of the teaching intact. And it's completely natural that countless other schools of meditation have also reached a similar fate. They've lost the classic, authentic principles and techniques from the original meditation masters. If the mainstream meditation techniques taught widely today in India, if these were correct and people widely practiced them, then India today would be the intelligent and creative superpower of the world. But the techniques that are widely taught are not the original authentic teachings. They are the dilapidated ruins of a previous glorious knowledge from India's past. They're the remaining artifacts of a wondrous golden age that is far removed from what you see in India today. This is why the best and most powerful meditation methods are never released carte blanche into the mainstream public, where they can be manipulated and molded according to the fancy of the day. These most precious advanced techniques are always kept secret, hidden away, and safeguarded by a tradition. There are still some rare, authentic schools of knowledge that have thrived in secret through the ages, but you'll never find them as a tourist. Now, when Buddha taught, he taught monks. He taught monk meditation. He may have called his way the middle path, but his teachings were actually extremely austere. And as we saw in our last talk, there's a huge difference in approach between monk meditation and meditation for householders who live in the real world. We must not confuse these two distinct approaches, the way of the monk and the way of the householder. OJAYA comes to us today from a fresh stream of knowledge that is also ancient. This stream is flowing for thousands of years. OJAYA comes from the deep forests, from ancient masters who discovered a special knowledge of how nature works. And your consciousness is a part of nature. OJAYA is for people who want to live in harmony with nature, for busy people who want to live a more natural life, a happy life in the real world. These are the powerful meditation techniques that have been kept alive, hidden out of the public view. You won't find OJAYA taught in any book because it's always given personally from heart to heart. Now with the internet, this is the very first time that the OJAYA teachings have ever been offered widely to so many people. So you can now watch these lessons online from anywhere. We use the modern internet technology, but we still teach the knowledge in the traditional way, in the old style ways. It's absolutely essential that OJAYA is always properly given and properly received. So in this course, as we learn OJAYA, we're also going to compare what's being taught today in the name of meditation. And we'll find out why the art of deep meditation has become diluted or even lost in most every school out there. We'll find out how this happened. And we'll see that how you meditate, the method you use, will determine the fruit of that meditation. You'll always know true meditation by its fruits. So this completes our prep talk number 4. Now remember, before you move on to prep talk number 5, let's take a good break, a long intermission. This was a long talk already. This is the OJAYA way, to take the training in easy steps. In our next talk, I'll tell you an old story about the foolish man who was too much in a rush to learn meditation. He didn't care much to follow the rules or to learn in the proper way, and he got some unexpected results. But for now, let's not be like him. Let's take a break, a nice long intermission. I'll meet you back here again later, underneath these mango trees, for our last prep talk in the series.
Are you ready to start? Learn OJAYA with easy online lessons. Learn step by step at your own relaxed pace. Come, take your seat in the Earthborn Rainforest. Enroll now at OJAYA.com. You'll gain access to the complete OJAYA core course plus all online features. Take a break and come back for Prep Talk 5, your last prep talk. Or enroll now at OJAYA.com.